You're an extremely dumb individual. You add nothing to the conversation, and you're a complete idiot, Eddie. So why don't you have a nice day and go listen to somebody else who supposedly doesn't have a show? You're the guy in the middle of the day who calls into, he's still yelling, by the way. Is he still talking? What an unhinged moron.
I like the way you make people make fun of their voices. That's pretty funny.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much. What would you like to talk about today?
Like the way people talk when they give too much oral to men.
So,
so
can
Eddie, you say a word for me?
Eddie, let's have a serious conversation. Let's try to do that.
I am.
Okay, good.
You're the
Let's
one
do that.
making fun of
Do you
people
think?
The way they talk.
I was just making
You're
fun of you,
just a
Eddie.
clown.
Okay, thank you, Eddie, for calling me a clown. Let's try to have.
Quarterback.
Okay, Eddie, you think
Say
I'm a clown?
quarterback.
Okay, thank you. Now let's try to have a serious conversation. Do you think Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Or do you think it's all a made up lie?
Say quarterback.
Are you going to answer my question, or are you not going to answer?
Are you going to answer my question?
No, it's my show, not yours. Do you think Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
You don't have a show.
Okay, thank you.
That's why you got.
I don't have a show. I don't have a show yet. You just called into my show, Eddie. You're a complete idiot. Okay, come at me with something better than that, Eddie. You're a complete idiot. You're a complete idiot, Eddie. You're listening to my show right now, and you used your little Trump fingers to call into my show. So please explain to me how this isn't a show, Eddie. Are you not listening to this show right now? Did you not use your little Trump fingers to call in, Eddie? Hello, Earth to Eddie. Is this not a show?
To you on Occupy Democrats.
Okay, so what? So what? I'm on Really American Network now. No, actually, I'm not a fraud, and they didn't, and I have 200,000 listeners a day. So because right now I'm not on the Occupy Democrats network, that means I don't have a show? Oh, okay. Let's go with that. You're wasting my time, Eddie, but that's okay. So, Eddie, right now my show is on YouTube. Right now my show is on the Really American Network with over 600,000 subscribers and over 1 million people on Facebook. Right now my show is on the FM AM dial, KSHP, TikTok, and Twitch. So I just gave you 5 or 6 entities. So, Eddie, now that you've wasted our time with your stupidity, would you like to answer my question? You know what, Eddie? I'm going to be nice today, because I'm in a really good mood today. For whatever reason, I'm in a really good mood today. I'm going to let you ask me a question. As long as you're not swearing on the air and you're being respectful, I will let you ask me a question first. If you let me ask a question after that, is that a fair thing, Eddie? Is that fair?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so no, I'm going to let you go first. I said I'm in a good mood today.
Okay, you ready?
Okay, if it's respectful,
answer this truthfully?
If it's respectful and it's on topic, then I absolutely will. Because we're talking about the Epstein files.
I have it
here.
Talking
about Donald Trump. Is it on topic, or are you just going to ask me something stupid? Because my question is on topic.
I'm going to ask you a regular question.
No.
Ask you a regular question.
Eddie, I need you to listen for a second. Eddie,
because you can't handle.
I can handle any question. Eddie, I can handle any question.
Answer this.
Okay, Eddie, pot him down for a second. Eddie, here's what we do on this radio show. We ask that our callers remain on topic. It's not a free-for-all where anybody can call into the show and ask irrelevant questions. If you don't like me personally, that's your problem, not mine. I really don't care, neither does my audience. So if you'd like to ask a question about Donald Trump and the topics that we are discussing today, which are the Epstein files and inflation, those would be what we would call in the radio business on topic. You've already called in and said, I don't have a show, yet you're literally listening to okay, then where were you listening to the show, Eddie? Okay, Eddie, you've made that very clear. Where are you listening to the show, Eddie? Where are you listening to the show?
I'm not listening to the show.
Oh, so you're not listening to the show, but you just randomly called in because you know I'm. So, Eddie, what would you call this on an FM AM station then, 12 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday? What would you call that, Eddie? What do we call it?
The same people that sell trinkets.
Okay, so you're not going to. All right, so you're not going to answer the question, Eddie. All right, so we've established that you're a complete idiot. We've established that you're a complete moron, Eddie, and we know that you're a moron, and you call into this show because you want to call me a clown and you think you're funny, and you obviously have nothing better to do during your day than to say, boy, I really want to call into that guy Brian Shapiro's show and call him a clown. All right, Eddie, I'm going to ask you a question now because clearly you're not capable of asking a question on topic. So, Eddie, here's the question, okay? The question is, and it will remain the same, do you believe that the reason why Donald Trump is not releasing the Epstein files is because he's in them? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so why does he not want to release them then, Eddie? You're entitled to your opinion, Eddie. Why do you think Donald Trump doesn't want to release the files then? Give me a reason why you think it's got nothing to do with him. Why? Why is that?
The Democrats had these files for years.
Didn't ask you. That wasn't my question. Pot him down again. Eddie, pot him down all the way. Eddie, the question wasn't about Democrats. I need you to focus. You said you don't believe Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. My follow-up question is, why do you think he's not releasing the Epstein files? It's a very simple question that has nothing to do with Democrats. The question wasn't about when Joe Biden was president, and the question wasn't about Democrats. I could talk about that next if you'd like, but I need you to answer the question. You don't think Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Legally, he has the ability to release all of them tomorrow. Why do you think he refuses to do so and he doesn't want people talking about it? What's the reason, Eddie? Give me the reason.
Because there's too many people on that list. Obama, Bill Clinton.
Okay, so your opinion of why this is how stupid this guy is. Your opinion of why Donald Trump doesn't want the Epstein files released is because Bill Clinton and Barack Obama are in the Epstein files? That's your reasoning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he doesn't want to hurt Barack Obama. Okay, so where's your evidence that Barack Obama was in the Epstein files? Was he seen with Jeffrey Epstein at parties? Was he on the Jeffrey Epstein plane 7 times like Donald Trump? Please give me one shred of evidence that Barack Obama even knew Jeffrey Epstein, let alone ever hung out with him. What's your evidence there, Eddie?
Where's your evidence that Trump was on the island?
Gotcha. So first of all, I said he's on the list, you moron. You want to know what my evidence is? Be quiet and listen. I'll educate you, you crap for brains. Be quiet. I'll answer your question because you don't know how to answer questions, but I will answer your question directly. How do I know? Well, first of all, Donald Trump has already openly admitted that there was sex trafficking going on at Mar-a-Lago, that Jeffrey Epstein took an underage girl from Mar-a-Lago. That's number one. Number two, they were best friends. Number three, we've seen Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Number four, we know for a fact that Donald Trump was on the Epstein flight log at least 7 times. We learned that in a court of law in the Maxwell case alone. We have Jeffrey Epstein on tape. You need to listen. I know you're talking. You need to listen because I know you don't want to listen to the truth. It was Jeffrey Epstein that didn't say Barack Obama was his best friend. He said Donald Trump was his best friend. We see Donald Trump's with pictures with Jeffrey Epstein for years and years and years. The evidence is overwhelming. And by the way, for you to think that the reason why Donald Trump doesn't want the Epstein files out there is because he's trying to protect Barack Obama and Bill Clinton might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, because you're obviously not a very intelligent person, Eddie. You're an extremely dumb individual. You add nothing to the conversation, and you're a complete idiot, Eddie. So why don't you have a nice day and go listen to somebody else who supposedly doesn't have a show? You're the guy in the middle of the day who calls into... He's still yelling, by the way. Is he still talking? What an unhinged moron. He's still got put him up.
You ready to answer my question, Coward?
Are you ready to answer my question, Coward? Are you ready to answer my question? I'll tell you what. Come on. I'll tell you what. When you call into this show and you actually ask me something that is on topic, then I will answer your question. You stupid moron. Have a nice day, you jackass. By the way, Eddie, I think you're in the Epstein files and you're probably a child molester. What do you think about that, you frickin' turd, you? By the way, let that be a lesson to anybody. If you're going to call into the show, you don't get free reign to ask whatever the hell you want to. But if you're respectful and you're on topic, that would certainly help. I hope they lock you up in a cage with an alien, and I hope that alien probes you for the rest of your life, every day for the rest of your life.
I'm wondering if this is a politics show or if this is a hate on Donald Trump show.
Donald Trump is the president of the United States, Chuck, and sometimes we do talk about the president because it is a political show. So I think, now I'll be honest with you, Chuck, I hate Donald Trump. I hate him for a lot of different reasons. I tend to hate people that are liars. I tend to hate people that are 34-count felons. I tend to hate people that brag about going into teenage locker rooms. I tend to hate people who treat women like objects. I tend to hate people that are lifelong scumbags who are racist and bigots. So whether Donald Trump is the president or not, when he's not the president, I will still hate him. But you see, sir, he happens to be the president of the United States. You see, there's a lot of people that I hate in society, a lot of people that are criminals and horrible people. It just so happens that the one we're talking about happens to be the president of the United States. So should I not talk about Donald Trump?
Can we talk Congress, sir?
Can we talk Congress? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
What about Congress?
Oh, the UFO hearing they just had today that revolved around your state, actually.
Okay, well, I do national politics. I don't do a lot of local politics, but what is it that they talked about in Congress?
It's not local. It was national, and it involved Nevada and Area 51 in Rachel, Nevada.
Okay, so you want to talk about Area 51? You think that's political? I just said we do a political talk show. What about Area 51 is political?
Well, a lot of it has to do with alien technology that has to do with the technology and the microphones that you're using right now.
What does Area 51 have to do with the technology of my microphone, sir? Are you on drugs today, sir?
Where do you think you got that from, sir?
This is from the radio station. They purchased it from a store, I would imagine, a manufacturer. What does that have to do with Area 51? Are you
high? With Donald Trump's administration letting the truth out about aliens.
Why are you yelling? First of all, why can't you talk in a normal tone of voice? That's number one. And number two, what does Area 51 have to do with politics? You haven't answered my question.
Because it shaped the trajectory and the secrecy and the missiles and the nuclear codes that were sent off facing the United States.
I don't know what you're talking about. Did you vote for Donald Trump, sir? If you don't mind me asking you.
Yeah, I did, and I'm standing by it. I'm MAGA.
Yeah, I'm shocked to hear that, sir. So going back to Area 51, because that's very much on topic, and you're right. Area 51 is all over the news today. Can you name me one national news site or publication or program that talked about Area 51 today? Since you
MSNBC, PBS.
They did. Really funny. I must have missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that one.
NPR.
Oh, interesting. I must have missed that one as well. So is there anything else? More on topic that you'd like to talk about? Like, for example, do you think Donald Trump might be in the Epstein files and maybe that's why he doesn't want to release them? And then maybe you can go back to thinking about Area 51 the rest of the day. You have the right to do that, sir. But what do you think about Donald Trump not releasing the Epstein files? And now we have this letter that just came out and they're saying it was forged and it was an auto pen. What do you think about that?
I think Donald Trump is an informant for the United States government, and he was an agent for investigate Epstein, and he has all the information.
So what is your evidence that happened? Because Mike Johnson back.
I got audio. I got video clips of him in disguise as an undercover informant, sir.
You have video clips of Donald Trump as an undercover informant.
Absolutely.
So why don't you sell those to Area 51 TV?
No, because I'm trying to just call in these little idiot radio shows and just have fun.
You're trying to call into these idiot little radio shows and have fun. Oh, okay. I understand. Well, it sounds like you have a very exciting life, sir. Your name is Chuck.
Yeah, I do. I watch idiots like you try to look cool and you don't.
Well, here's the difference. Here's the difference, sir. Okay. I don't listen to you. I don't call into your show. I don't follow you, and I don't really care what your opinions are. You're the ones who decide to listen to this show and to call into this show in the middle of the day and to call in and talk about Area 51. I think you need to get your head examined, and I think you need to get a life, Chuck. Okay, what do you think about that?
I think that you need to...
have a nice day. You don't get to finish your sentence. Go back to thinking about Area 51. And by the way, I hope they lock you up in a cage with an alien, and I hope that alien probes you for the rest of your life, every day for the rest of your life. X is next up on PTL. Hey, X, what's going on?
Hey, what I wanted to tell you was, how Trump is, calling, military people cowards and John McCain, names. That is highly unacceptable. And I agree. What he did was wrong, deeply. However, I don't know if I could call him a coward because, when he got shot, in July 13th, he pumped his fist up.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, so X, let's explore that for a moment. What would you call somebody that dodges the military multiple times, making something up that he has bone spurs? What would you call somebody like that?
There's no doubt. I wouldn't want to go to the military either. So,
okay, hold on. I didn't. Hold on. The question wasn't whether you would want to go to the military. Pay attention to my question, X. What would you call somebody who dodges the military multiple times, lies, and get a doctor to say that he has bone spurs? What would you call that sort of behavior?
That's cowardice. But
thank you. So that's why I call him a coward. You're saying he's not a coward. What has Donald Trump given up in his life? What has he sacrificed? Tell me.
He pumped his fist.
I don't care if he pumps his fist. What has he given up in his life to help others? Tell me.
I mean, he was willing to go to jail to become president.
Did he go to jail?
He was like,
What do you mean he was willing to go to jail? He never went to jail. That's not a sacrifice. What has he I'm going to ask you again. What has he sacrificed in his life? Forget about even when he was president. What has this man ever sacrificed in his life? Can you please tell me?
I'm not going to defend him because,
Yes, you are. You're saying he's not a coward. You were praising him for pumping his fist after he allegedly got shot. And by the way, I find it interesting that the day after he allegedly got shot, which by the way, I don't believe he ever was, he was literally playing golf the next day with no bandage on his ear. And then he wore a big tampon on his ear at the Republican National Convention. So I now ask you for a fourth time, what has this man ever sacrificed in his life?
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. That's why he's X. That's why he's a coward. X.
He pumped his fist up. That's what I'm saying. Period.
X. That's why he's a coward. Because he never sacrificed anything in his life. He's a terrible father. Hold on. He's a terrible father. X. He's a terrible father. He's a terrible husband. He's a terrible human being. And he dodged the military multiple times. That is not only the definition of a criminal, but it's also the definition of a coward. And you cannot deny that.
To go to the Vietnam War. Who would have wanted to go to Vietnam War? That's what I'm saying.
It's not a matter of whether, listen to me. There's a difference between not wanting to go and then lying about it and dodging it. There's a lot of people that did not want to go, but guess what? They still went. They still went. They still went. Also playing golf. You know what? There's a lot of people that don't want to go to the hospital, but they go anyway because it saves their life. There's a lot of people that don't want to go to war, but they do it because it's their service to the nation. Donald Trump lied and dodged the military. It has nothing to do with whether you want to do something or not, and it has everything to do with whether you do it or not, or whether you lie about it. He is a coward. Why do you keep defending him?
I'm not going to keep defending him.
You sound like you are. Why can't you just say he's a coward?
The Democratic Party's rating is lower than the Donald Trump's. And going to the midterms.
What do ratings have to do?
They're not able to raise money. What I'm saying is,
we're not talking about
news. You're so obsessed with highly biased news.
We're not talking about raising money. By the way, Donald Trump has had some of the worst approval ratings in 50 years, okay? I don't care. I don't care what approval ratings say. I don't care. I don't care. Why is it you deflect?
For the next 3 years,
no,
whether you like it or not, I don't like.
I never said he wasn't.
Or not.
I never said he wasn't, but you started this conversation. Hold on a second. You started this conversation by saying he's not a coward. I've given you multiple examples of why he is. Why don't you retract what you just said?
He pumped his fist,
Who cares if he pumped his? Who cares if he pumped his fist? White supremacists pump their fist too. Does that make them a coward?
You would have,
or does that make them a patriot?
What I'm saying is,
what are you saying?
Yes. That's not something that you can pre-plan.
So Klan members pump their fist. Does that make them patriots? Would you salute them as well?
And get Midas touch off your network,
Why do you keep changing the subject? Wait, hold on a second. X, hold on. So by your definition, if you pump your fist, that makes you some sort of hero?
Almost after getting shot, stuff like that,
stuff like that, like after getting shot.
Yes.
X, it amazes me that you continue to defend him, which you're doing right now. It amazes me.
All you want. If you don't believe my actions, then wait until the next 4 years, man.
Well, no, I'm not going to wait. I mean, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And if you think Donald Trump is some sort of hero, even though he dodged the military, never has been in any type of fight his entire life. He never fought for anything except himself his entire life. But because he raised his fist, somehow that makes him a patriot, X. That makes you an imbecile. Thank you, X. I appreciate your phone call, but that makes you an imbecile. Okay? If a white supremacist raises his fist, does that make him a patriot too? You sound ridiculous. And all you do is make excuses for the orange turd. And quite frankly, it's exhausting, X, and it's pathetic. It really is pathetic. Here you go. I'll pump my fist and say, I hope you get deported to Gaza. Does that make me a patriot? I'm pumping my fist. Holy smokes. Numchuck was pumping his fist as well. So I guess Numchuck is a patriot too.